I think of art and the making of art as an illness, really. Fortunately, most people don't contract it. But if you do get infected, it takes over everything, and you're living only for your work. It's obsessive, and you're trapped inside this obsession. With each novel I've written, I can say without any hesitation that none of them has ended up the way I thought it would in the beginning. I've changed my ideas about it. I've discovered things working on the book that has taken me to a different place from the one I originally thought I was going to. I was first infected with that illness, which is writing, quite young. And by the time I was 15, I knew that that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to write books. And then when I got a bit older and got to college, I had some very ambitious projects for novels. Things that I was unqualified to even attempt at that early stage in my development. I wrote during those years, say between 18 and 22, 23, something like 800 to 1,000 pages of fiction. And all of it in notebooks, all just written out, never even bothered to type it after. And I never was happy with the results. I decided at around age 23 that I was incapable of writing fiction, and I would just stick to poems, and that was it. The first book I wrote on the heels of my father's sudden, unexpected death was The Invention of Solitude, a non-fiction book. And then I was ready to go back and tackle fiction. These unfinished, aborted works of my youth nevertheless had the seeds of several of my early books in them. City of Glass, In the Country of Last Things, and Moon Palace. I mean, those are the books I was trying to write and couldn't. And in those early years of my novel writing, I plundered those notebooks. And when there was a good paragraph or a good sentence, I would steal something I'd written when I was 20 and put it in the work I was writing in my early 30s. In City of Glass, the idea of walking around the streets of a city and the pattern of your footsteps spelling out letters of the alphabet to make words. Well, that was something I cooked up when I was just a kid. But I still liked the idea, and I used it later. So those were all false starts. But even though most of it was absolutely no good, there were bits here and there that were worth using. So I look back on those years of frustration and think, well, maybe the time wasn't wasted. It was my apprenticeship. It was my hard slog through the rigors of trying to turn myself into a prose writer with a style and a way of articulating things for himself. When I was young, when I'd get to these moments of blockage, I would think, the book is dead. I never knew what I was doing in the first place, and therefore I'm never going to be able to finish it. When I get stuck as an older person, I say to myself, don't panic. It's okay. This is normal. And if this book is meant to be written, it's already there inside you. You just have to find it.